Now, you may have heard once or twice that non-vegans are tired of hearing vegans shoving their views down everybody's throats. But here are 5 things that vegans are tired of hearing. Let's get into it. Number 1. Animals sacrifice themselves for my meal. You'd think it's so nonsensical that people are saying it just to troll. However, some people genuinely in good faith seem to believe that animals made some sort of sacrifice to be somebody's meal. But what sense does that make? Since when did an animal choose to be exploited and killed for our use? We like to feign ignorance on their thoughts and feelings, but somehow they can magically think about how good it would be for us to eat them and choose that for themselves. So this needs no further explaining. It's just something we're tired of hearing because it's so nonsensical. Number 2. You can't get your protein. Now, this is a funny one as somebody who frequents the gym, who eats high protein for the gym. There are countless sources of plant-based protein. In fact, I'm currently struggling to pick what to eat next because I've got so many high protein options. I just don't know which one to pick. There are so many options that you can, as a vegan, experience decision paralysis. But things like tofu, protein powders, tempeh, seitan, specific yogurts, specific milks, hell, even plants such as peas and broccoli contain protein. The classic vegan staple of nooch, also known as nutritional yeast, is also high in protein. And luckily we've got so many people within the vegan movement, or people who are plant-based, repping the thick biceps to demonstrate just where that protein is going. Number 3, going vegan won't make a difference. This one's painful on a couple of levels, but one level is because if you got everyone who said that to go vegan, they would be making a big difference. It's weird how the concept of supply and demand goes out of the window as soon as somebody is talking to a vegan. And there is the case that people could potentially, if they are paying for the flesh of animals or their secretions, not only be responsible for just one animal being killed, but multiple, because it could be a threshold purchase that's catalyzed by the purchase of that item. That, by the way, shouldn't be an item. It came from an animal. We seem to have either this defeatist mindset or this mindset of refusing accountability, where we think that our impact on this world is basically non-existent. But both our presence and our absence on this planet change the way the planet looks, even if it's on a minuscule level, because obviously there are so many of us to contribute. However, I'm sure people wouldn't have this mindset in other scenarios. I'm sure they'd recognize that they individually do indeed make a difference. It is just a defeatist mindset, or again, refusing to take accountability. Number 4, animals don't feel pain. We have heard this one more times than is acceptable, and the number of times that would be acceptable to hear this would be 0. It's also funny as well because it goes hand in hand, typically, with somebody saying that plants feel pain. So somehow it's flipped. Plants feel pain, but animals do not. In what world does that make any sense whatsoever? Of course animals feel pain. Do we really need to appeal to the scientific consensus on the declaration of animal sentience? Do we really need to do that? And for those who aren't clear, if someone is sentient, they have the ability to experience and therefore the ability to experience pain. It is honestly baffling hearing this, and it seems possibly like a defense mechanism, just putting nonsense out there so we can feel more comfortable with our choices. Because wouldn't it be good if animals didn't feel? If they didn't, it would just be the equivalent of consuming plants. However, they have a rich ability to experience an array of physical and emotional feelings. Number 5, and this is our final one for today, is the concept of humane slaughter. Often you will hear that animals are slaughtered humanely. Now, what does humane mean? It means compassion and benevolence. What is compassionate and benevolent about taking away somebody's entire existence when they didn't consent to having their life taken away from them? These animals typically are bred into existence, they are exploited their entire short lives, and then they are killed at a fraction of their lifespan. Add all the context, all the horrific things, all of the conditions, all these horrible welfare issues, we're talking about taking away someone's entire existence. Humane slaughter is an oxymoron. The only truly humane choice is to not kill them, is to not exploit them, is to actually consider them with compassion and benevolence. Those have been 5 things that vegans are tired of hearing. If you have any more, then let us know down below. Of course, there are many things that people say against vegans or against veganism itself, and it can be very frustrating hearing it over and over again, especially when it doesn't make very much sense. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to go vegan for the animals, because they are who it means everything to.